And this is called a rock step. You rock back to make a miss and then follow through. Now, as soon as you see me coming, you can hold your ground and counter punch me on the way in. Or you can take that little half step back, make me miss, and then catch me with a counter punch. You have a choice. All right, let's see what happens. Let me try to get you first, and then I'll have Mike join you. All right, I'm attacking first. Ready? Still working on everything at just the right distance. Try to relax. Think about exploding. Hyperextend. Weapon first. All right, ready? Okay, let's try it again. Good indirect angle attack there. Good reaction, Rick. Right position. Let's try it again. Now, if I don't like the way he reacts sometimes, I can pull out and say to heck with it. Or, if I don't like the way he reacts, I pump the fake again. Let's try it again. Good counter punch. See what he did? He did a little half step back, put what we call a space cushion between me and his target, made me miss. As soon as I missed, I realized, oops, I made a mistake. I start recovering. He counters before I complete recovery. Excellent exercise. Mike, position against each other. Now again, position, relax, get centered, adjust that distance now. I think you're a little bit too close, that's good. Mike, you attacking. Rick, you continue to counter punch. Don't let him know which approach you're going to use, a direct angle attack or the indirect attack using the body fake. Let's see what happens. Direct angle attack there. See what happened? A little too close on the initial move. Good point here. So as soon as you fake, you realize, oops, you're a little bit too close. You got to spring back. Don't rock back. Boom, spring back. See the difference between rocking and springing? See, old people rock. I mean, spring back because you got fast people like Mr. Pascetta here, and he might get you that counter kick, or he might get you that fast counter punch. See, he's punching off the rear hand. So he could be counter punching off the front hand. That front hand's a little faster because he's got less distance to travel. See? Now remember, he is helping you to develop your ability to approach someone who has an advantage of speed or has an advantage of reach. You've got to neutralize. You've got to nullify those advantages. So remember the one rule in fighting when you step out and you start sparring somebody. You look at them and you try to quickly detect what are their strengths, what are their strong points, what are their advantages. And you've got to nullify those. You've got to neutralize them. And as you're neutralizing and nullifying their strengths, at the same time, you try to detect and sense what are their weaknesses. So you always want to hit an opponent where his defense is weakest. So you have those two goals. And while you're working those two goals, what you do is you keep your eye on him and watch him like a hawk. Right? At the same time, you use the tactic against him. So this sort of helps you stimulate your timing. In other words, this is what helps my timing. I watch my opponent like a hawk. So I'm going to watch him. So I see if he's starting to counter punch, I'm not going to run into it. And at the same time, I base my reactions on not only what my eye sees, but also in conjunction with what my strategy dictates. My strategy tells me if I see him starting to counter punch, I'm on his far line, rock back real fast. Spring back. So you spring right there real fast. Got me? Let's try it again. Remember those rules now I just pointed out. Those are real important keys to sort of build your concentration, maintain and stabilize your concentration. It makes it easier for you to make a quick decision. See, if you don't have anything to base your decisions on, see, what's going to happen to your techniques? You're not going to know when to move or when to fire. It's going to make you indecisive. We all know the great fighters are those who are very decisive. Okay, it's not how strong you are, it's not how fast you are, it's not how good a technique you have, it's not how good a shape you're in. The decision-making skills is what's the key. Got me? All right, position. So let's stabilize that mental attitude. Watch your opponent like a hawk. Now let's try it again. Keep going. Good. Now try to spring off that fire line a little bit quicker, see? Good. See how Rick is setting you up for the counter punch? All right, now let's switch it. You're attacking this time. Direct angle attack, indirect angle attack. As soon as you see him coming, hold your ground, counter punch, or you half step back, put that space cushion between the two of you, make you miss, set him up for the counter. Got me? Position. Let's see what happens. Good. Now pump that fake a little bit more, Rick. So you're kind of tall, so you have an advantage. A tall person sort of lean in like that when they fake. A shorter person is going to have to choke up a little bit more. Got me? It's hard to emulate what tall people do. Got me? So Let's try to practice it more that traditional way. Use that body fake. There you go. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Keep going. Watch these drills closely. Good. Good, good, good moves. That last one was a great indirect angle attack. The move just before that, great move. Your hand move first, good independent motion. Now, so you can continue doing those drills right on up until what you want to do is get into working in combination. So you can approach your opponent with a single technique. You can use a fake ahead of time to break up his timing, especially if he's faster than you or has a reach advantage. Or somebody moves back away from you, disengages you quite a bit. What you can do is change your approach and even go into a combination. All right, now watch this approach. Scruff gets rear. Let me do it from this angle first, and we'll switch sides. This is a simple blitz. Now you want to practice your blitz both from close range and from about a half a step back. So if someone's playing you far away, it doesn't matter. You practice blitzing from here, and you practice blitzing from here. We call these blitzers. Some people call them swarmers. Somebody just swarms all over you. Now watch. What I like to do is lead off with my front hand, get the man's attention, get his attention with the front hand, follow through, try to score with the lead off hand off the rear side, get his attention upstairs. As I get his attention upstairs, I come back underneath with the left hand, score underneath. Now let's switch sides real fast. Watch it from this side now, position. A simple three-punch blitz. Good spring in the legs here, another form of deceptive penetration, because what I can do is I can come in, I can set him up with just one technique, come in again, a single technique, and then all of a sudden come through with the blitz itself. A simple setup is another form of deceptive penetration. Watch the blitz. Now position a nice, strong, hard stance. What I am doing is watch the angle I'm using. Now close your center line as much as possible. Give me as little a target as you can. Good. Now watch this movement. Right here on his forward elbow. I'm sinking this punch in or this roundhouse kick in about 4 or 5 inches up from the elbow. All right, so watch. If I fire a punch straight here, he's blocking it. If I fire a punch up here, he's blocking it. If I fire a side kick here, he's blocking it. But watch. If I throw this punch here straight in, he can rock back, make me miss. But watch my left hand now. Watch closely my left hand. It's coming on a straight line as I turn that left hip. Sink it 4 inches up from the elbow. Watch how it corkscrews straight in. See the straight line with the hip in and back. Now watch in slow motion. Position. Lead hand gets his attention. He might block it or rock back. He rocks away from my punch or slips it. As he slips it, he guards his midsection. As I come through the step, punch before I complete the step. Now watch a little bit faster. What I'm going to try to do is hit him with 3 punches before I complete the rear step. Watch my rear step. As fast as I can. Splitting on the end of it. Now I will get 3 punches off. 1, 2, 3 before I complete that one step. Watch it. Fast split. Using the first punch so to get his attention, second one so to get his attention, measure him, draw his attention upstairs, neutralize his defense, boom, as I follow through downstairs. Or sometimes you may go 1, 2, and on the inside, bring that shin kick right up on there, hit the forearms and hit the rib cage. I know in kickboxers, might come 1, 2 real fast here, bring that shin kick right up on the inside of the quadricep here. Does a lot of damage, and of course in a street fight, there's other targets. Now, let's work on that 3-punch blitz once. All right, position facing this direction. Mike, let's join us. Let's do it slow motion now. Lead hand out. Hyperextend the right hand straight up the face, upstairs. Now, step through. Take your left hand and corkscrew it straight underneath like that. Twist it way under, way under. Straight out, straight out. Let that forearm run parallel to the ground. Pull it straight back. Good, back reposition. Let's try to half speed all the way through. All the way through. Try to get all 3 punches off before the step is completed. Half speed with me. Ready? No. Back reposition. Let's try a little bit faster. Blitzing all the way through. Ready? 3 punches off quickly before you complete the step. One more time. Let's try it real fast. Ready? Good, good movements. Now what you can do is practice blitzing back and forth against each other. Gentlemen, can you position against each other here? Square off. Now, Rick, I want you to attack Mike first. Mike, as soon as you see him coming, I just want you to act as a target. Don't try to block anything. As soon as you see him coming, just shuffle back as quickly as you can. Rick, see if you can get the jump on him. So as he's going back, you're going to have to really reach with this rear punch. Watch my rear punch. You're going to have to reach with it to get him. You're going to position down there, Mike you to come back against him. Watch this drill closely. What I used to do before every tournament, I'd go over and I'd find the fastest man on the floor. And I'd work blitzing drills back and forth against each other like this to help me establish my distance, my ability to explode. Because few fighters can explode. Not because they don't have the ability, because they just don't work on it. Therefore, they don't have the skill. See? My position. Rick, you're firing first. Good. Reposition down here. Alternate back and forth. Try to blitz back. Good. Reposition. Good moves, good moves. All right, now try to get the repetitiveness of those punches off a little quicker. Watch me hit my chest. This is too slow. I want 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or so now, 1, 2, bam! Didn't delay the last one. Got me? Let's try it. Mike coming back against Rick. A little fast on the punch. Get the repetitive. Rick coming back against Mike. Watch it carefully. Oh, a little bit too close that time. No way you could get away from it. Try it one more time. As you're doing these blitzing drills, now pay close attention to this. You might choke up sometimes. Right position. All right, Mike, you might play in close sometimes to see if you can control that kind of distance. Do you feel a little out of control there? You choke back just a little bit. And then you play with different distances too. You choke up, play it there until you get warmed up, then try it from a greater distance. All right, does everybody understand the drill? Now watch this. Position. Adding one more ingredient to try and improve your deceptive skills. Now this time, watch me carefully. I'm going to do 3 step-through lunge punches. A simple step-through lunge punch. And this is what I want you to do, Rick. The instant you see me squeezing the trigger to try to hit you on the chest, I just want you to try to see if you can shuffle back real fast and make me miss. Simple enough? Watch this carefully. The next principle we're trying to add as we improve our deceptive skills. All right, ready? Try to make me miss, try to get out of range before I get there. Okay? I'm going to do everything in my power to try to explode. I've got the right distance. I've got a good spring in my legs. I'm relaxed. I'm going to explode. I'm going to hyperextend, use weapon first. Let's see if I can get it. You made me miss. Let's try it again. Ready? Same distance. Made me miss again. So you got somebody quicker than you are. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Got to make some kind of adjustment here. Watch me. So you see me coming, explode now. Somebody see the difference in the speed that time? Position? Was that a little harder to get away from?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what I did that was different?
Your initial move was disguised by the movement that you were doing before you exploded.
Sounds like you've been to one of my seminars. Square up against me. Well, actually, Rick picked this up about 15 some years ago. Now watch. In the first 2 movements, what I want you to do is, when you practice with your sparring partner, is do this from a stationary position. Notice all through this particular clinic, what we're doing is using a simple hand technique, a simple punch. Most of these principles can be applied to all the other techniques. It's just that I find it easier to teach these principles when I use a simple punching technique. Plus, most street fighters and most kickboxers will still tell you that good old American right cross is still probably the deadliest technique there is. All right, now watch. The first 2 times I approach, I do it from a completely stationary position, and then I spring. The 3rd time, I made a slight adjustment. What I did was, I used what we call mobility. So here's the principle: mobility versus immobility. I'm not saying that you must always use mobility, but look at the facts. Screw up. When you use mobility, watch my body move. I'm using a little spring step here, a little dipping motion, a little torquing, and a little rolling with the shoulders. See the body mobility? I'm not changing my target from side to side, in and out. Just the body is moving. When the body is in motion, it's harder for my opponent to detect my initial move. I'm not moving any faster. The distance isn't any different. He's not moving any slower, but his timing is distorted. See, when you got a man who's faster than you are, you can't slow his techniques down, but you make him think slower. And when he thinks slower, he doesn't react quite as soon. All right, let's try this exercise. Gentlemen, everybody square off, face in this direction, please. Position. All right, Now let's work on the mobility drills, just to add mobility to the body. All right, get a little spring step going, up and down, just a little spring. Toward the shoulders, in and out. All right, roll the shoulders a little bit, roll the shoulders a little bit. So a little fishtail movement, a little fishtail movement. You don't want the hands moving all over the place. You want the body moving behind the hands. All right, back it up a little bit. Now let's try, get the mobility going. When I say move, try to fire the step-through punch from a position of mobility. All right, ready? Get the dipping going. Shoulders torquing. Shoulders rolling. Ready? Go! Step-through punch. Back reposition. Let's try one more time. Now get the mobility going. Go. Ready? Go! Back reposition. Now let's try it with a lead leg kick. Slide up roundhouse kick or slide up side kick. As soon as I say move, fire the kick this time. Get the mobility going. Ready? Go! Back reposition. So, in your drills, instead of always practicing from a stationary position, working on your combinations in class, sometimes practicing them doing this. Scruff against me, Rick. What I'll do is, I'll have a partner stand in front of me like this, with his hands down by his side. And I'll pick each technique. Let's say a simple lead leg roundhouse kick. And I'll just practice first a mechanical form. Just get the body position down right. Just a mechanical form. Then I'll work on trying to get loose and relaxed. Loose and relaxed. Just as loose as I can get. Loose and relaxed. Then I'll say, okay, now I'm going to work on closing that gap. See how fast I can bridge that gap. So then, see how fast I can get in. Then I say, well, now I'm getting in fast, but I don't want to pause once I get in. So, the motion going towards your opponent is called penetration. The motion coming away from your opponent is called clearing. See how fast I can get in and out. So then from here, in, back out. In, back out. And then you work your other kicks. Double kicks. 1, 2, hook and heel kicks. All against a target. You might say, okay, I'm going to begin my class by doing 20 roundhouse kicks. First 5 kicks, work on the form. Next 5, work on your relaxation. Next 5, work on exploding. Independent motion. Next 5, work on clearing, getting in and out fast. So you always have a mental thought going on. You're always developing your mental skills every time you train. Now, this independent motion I just showed you, Scruff gives me. You can go hand first on the forehand strike. You can go weapon first again on a step-through lunge punch. You go weapon first on the roundhouse kick. The foot go first as you fire the kick. Those are basically the only techniques you can use that particular drill on. Now, gentlemen, keep those principles in mind. And let's try putting them all together. Scruff against each other, please. Now let's see how well this drill works for you. I want you to throw 3 punches at him first. As soon as you see him coming, you explode back. Try to make him miss. So first one is stationary. Second one, relaxed, stationary. Third one, get the mobility going. Wire your motion, make sure the hand goes first. Try not to stop just before you fire. Then he's going to try 3 back at you. Let's see what happens. Position. As soon as you see him coming, Rick, try to keep him from closing that gap on you. Back reposition. Try to explode a little more, with a little more ease, a little more explosiveness. Let's try it again. Notice, folks, he is missing. And let's try with the mobility this time. See if you can close the gap a little faster. Interesting. That feel easier? You saw him coming, but what was different?
Well, I reacted later.
You reacted a little later. All right, position. Now he's going to try it against you this time, Mike. Same thing. As soon as you see him coming, explosive footwork back. Get back before he gets there. Let's see. Reposition. Stationary. First, second time again, stationary now. Stationary. Good. Now this time with mobility. Let's see what happens. Looking good, looking good. You like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you see the advantages now in using mobility to improve your offense. It makes your skills a little more deceptively. Keep this in mind. can only work on 3 things in the fight game: your speed, your power, and your deceptiveness. When your techniques have all 3 of those qualities, you have what we call an effective technique. Without those 3 qualities, you have no effectiveness. It's impossible. So every time you work out, figure out, hey, where am I weak? What do I need to work on today? So as you enhance your strong points and your strengths, at the same time, by expanding on your strong points, you plug up those loopholes in your weaknesses. Now, let's try taking this a step further. What if, for example, I were up against someone who has a reach advantage against me? Let me demonstrate what I'm talking about. Okay, Rick, can you pause over here? Mike, can you join me over here on this line? Square up against me. Now watch. Let's say, for example, I have someone who's taller than I am. You cannot always attack someone who has a reach advantage or someone who has a speed advantage the same way. Watch my head level as I come in against my opponent. My head level does not change. This is typical of most karate fighters. I just hold your ground, Mike. And they stop here. 2 bad things I did. I stopped on the inside, and I came in with the same head level. When a man has a reach advantage and a speed advantage against me. Of course, Mike is not taller than I am, but let's assume he is taller. He has a reach advantage. Now, secondly, you want to keep that head level changing. Watch my head level change. See, it's going up and down on the way in. A moving target is harder to hit than a stationary target. We all know, where do we get hit most? Where do we get injured the most? The face. So you don't want that face always exposed to your partner. Now, watch. This time, watch my head alignment changes. Side, side, side as I penetrate. Side, side as I'm penetrating. So whenever you attack someone who's faster or has a reach advantage, fluctuate your head level, fluctuate your head alignment, especially if you have a shorter stature or you happen to be much slower than the other fighter. Now watch this particular move. Square up against me. Now what I'm going to do is this. I want you to catch me with a counter side kick on the way in. Okay? Now position, put your best side kick leg forward. You use your left leg?
Yes, sir.
Now watch. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to do a step through lunge punch and try to beat you to the draw. As soon as you see me coming, I want you to catch me right here with a good, fast counter side kick on the way in. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, you got to be quick. Okay, ready? Let's see what happens. Okay, now, there I had a slight edge and speed, and I was able to penetrate and close the gap before he got a good counter side kick up. But, what if he happens to have the edge of speed over me, or a reach advantage? I can't attack him the same way. Now watch, let's position again like I showed you. All right, again, as soon as you see me coming, try to catch me with that counter side kick. Now watch. I might jump over here and come at you from this angle. If you see me coming from over here, you kick me from over here with the side kick. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Or I might jump over here and come at you from this angle. And if I do, you turn and hit me from that angle with the side kick. Ready? All right, you gotta be fast. Let's see what happens. Whoa there. What happened?
You paused before you attacked.
Okay, did you hesitate a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, made you hesitate. Watch closely, let me show you what I did. Position. What I'm doing here is another form of deceptive penetration. For you instructors, this approach is called broken rhythm angular attack. In my broken rhythm tape, we try to go into this in a little more depth. But let me explain the principle here. This is called a scramble step. What I'm doing is I'm using a scramble step here to scramble his thoughts, to make him hesitate. That split second he hesitates, although he has a reach and speed advantage, when he hesitates, I gain the advantage. Keep in mind, that advantage is going to shift hands. Before I squeeze the trigger to attack my opponent, I want to make sure that I have the advantage. My position is strong. Now watch what I'm doing here. I'm stepping over here, doing a quick draw step. Watch my footwork. A quick draw step to draw his attention over here on this angle. As he starts to turn to aim his side kick in this direction, what I do real fast, notice where my head level is. It's down, it's off on an angle. I shift my head level back over here. Before he makes a quick enough adjustment to catch me with a counter side kick, I explode in with a counter punch. Okay, now watch this footwork, all right? Mike, can you position over here? Watch me from an angle. Now let's watch it closely. What I'm going to do is use this piece of tape here to draw my foot alignment. Now I'm going to put my front toe on the tape and my rear heel on the tape. That sort of indicates my center line, the center of my body. Notice the tape is going right straight up the center of my body. Now when I attack, I'm doing what we call a draw step. I'm trying to draw his attention, draw his fire, or draw him off balance. I take this front leg, I step out, I pump the fake, and then I take the rear step, I step out, I pump the fake again. And then from here, I follow through with my attack. Some of you Korean fighters may want to do it this way. Fake, fake, and then from here, come up with an axe kick, come over the top. Some of you like the forward hand strike, fake, fake, come up with the forward hand strike. Some of you like a low side kick, fake, fake, and then from here, catch them underneath the low side kick. Myself, I like to come underneath with a punch. Now once again, watch what I'm doing. It's very important. Position. The front foot, I'm coming forward. The next step, I'm coming forward. So I'm pumping two fakes. But instead of coming straight up at my opponent, I lean my shoulders to the side. First to the left, then to the right. Watch. Fake, drawing his attention over here. Notice I'm not on the center line. My hip, my knee is, and so is my rear foot. Watch that rear foot one more time. Rear foot drags up as the front leg steps out. Now this is important. Watch my body move. Make sure you tilt to the side. Keep these shoulders level so you're not off balance like so. All right, from here, watch my rear foot step over here as my front foot drags across. Step, drag. Then from here, explode in with the counter punch. Now watch it done faster. Once, ready? Fake, fake, then follow through with your technique. There's another form of the scramble step. It's a triple step. Watch it. I fake here, fake left, fake back right, as I draw the counter fighter off balance as I come in the back knuckle. But I usually like to start people off with this beginning type movement. This is something new in the martial arts. It was only introduced about 2 years ago. I think back in 1984. I still haven't seen it used in competition. It's an excellent, excellent movement. Here's another form of deceptive penetration. Okay, watch this move. All right, Mike, can you join me over here? Position against me, please. Over here, please. Let's go off against me. Now watch. This is another form of what we call broken rhythm. Just as the scramble set was. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll set my opponent up. Now watch, I'm gonna just come in with a forward hand strike. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna set you up first. I'm going to use what we call a probe step. Probe your fire line and out. Probe your fire line and out. Now you're used to seeing me there. Then what I do is the next time I come in, I rock back, and instead, I change up and I come in with back knuckle. So it'll look like this in competition. Probe in and out, change up. Probe in and out, change up. Probe in and out, come back in with the back knuckle. So you see what I'm doing? So what I did was sort of an artificial movement, what I call a probe step, getting your attention here. So you get used to seeing me up there, so you get relaxed. Then all of a sudden, I rock back, and then I change direction real fast. Instead, boom, I spring back in with a punch. So that catches you off guard. Got me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, what we've been working on here are some very important tactics. These aren't strategies per se. These are individual movements, which I hope some of you can identify with. Maybe you like the forward hand strike. Maybe you like the lunge punch. Maybe you like the scramble step. Maybe you like the mobility. Try to find something which you personally identify with, which doesn't change your style that much. Try not to do this. Try not to emulate me. As you discover things that work for you, practice them. The forward hand strike, for example, that took me 14 months back in 1967 to perfect. But it helped me out, as I said, when I entered into competition in 1968, the new season. It was kind of easy for me. Now, there is no opponent alive. There is no man alive who doesn't have a weakness. There's no man alive who uses fire line you cannot penetrate. Now, there are many other approaches which you can use. I hope you can continue the practice in the manner which I showed you as you evolve and become more capable of approaching different types of opponents, you start feeling better about yourself. You feel more certain about when to move and how to move. And as I've said before, you put those two things together, that feeling of being more capable and that feeling of being more self-assured, as it improves your self-esteem and improves your self-confidence. And I don't know any greater gift that you can give yourself than the gift of self-confidence. And Mark